crazy and psycho moments on my 600-pound life.
No, all right, let me go.
So you want to stop that? We'll stop.
I want to punch you. You don't think it hurts your feelings when you say like that?
Oh, you're costing me my weight loss surgery and you're ruining everything! Damn it, Christian, stop! Stop!
I'll answer questions on another day, but I just
No!
I have the right to know.
No, you do not have the right when it comes to my life!
We are introduced to Maya, who at the tender age of 33 weighed a staggering 689 pounds. Living with her boyfriend Christian, she woke up every day grateful to be alive. Like every patient featured on My 600-Pound Life, Maya was ready to make a lasting change in her life for the better.
When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I thank God that my body didn't give out during the night. Because my health is so bad now, I never know when my body's gonna hit its limit.
Maya's life essentially revolves around food, which has become her most constant and reliable companion. The unfortunate part was that her loving boyfriend played the role of an enabler, offering no help in her journey. As the episode unfolded, we discovered that Radnovac's compulsive eating stemmed from her mother's circumstances. As a single mom, her mother worked 2 jobs while her father remarried and started a new family.
It was a lot for my mom. She would be drained from working 2 jobs, not having enough money, and when I would go spend time with her, it was never as enjoyable as it was with my aunt and my grandparents.
Later in life, Maya did find the love she thought was missing. Unfortunately, her entire marriage turned out to be a sham, leaving her in the even stronger claws of binge eating. Despite her impending marriage, her relationship with her mother improved. However, everything was on the line as she continued to grow bigger and bigger. Her only hope remained with Dr. Now, and she was ready to embark on the challenging journey of regaining control of her life. However, the couple got into a crazy argument on the day of the appointment.
I need my phone, please.
Where's your phone?
And my purse. I need to check my flight.
Where's your purse?
Really?
I don't know where
Get
your
off
purse
your phone.
I don't know
and
where your purse
be
is.
a part of this.
Where the is your purse?
Poor Radnovac had only begun her journey, and she seemed about ready to call it quits after the airport fiasco. It seems the airport staff misinformed her about the distance and area, and now she was hurting all over because of how much she had been walking around that day.
The lady lied to me about how far it was because I would have made other arrangements for me to get here. I understand that I'm a big person, but it doesn't give people the right to lie to me. I need to go get a car.
Well, the day had certainly been a challenging one for Maya, and it just kept getting worse. The odds seemed to not be in her favor at all. Everything was testing her patience, and the SUV reservation proved to be the last straw. She and her boyfriend booked a larger SUV, only to have their booking messed up. Maya still held her head high and decided to make do with what she got. However, the car indeed turned out to be too small for her.
Are you gonna fit?
No, I can't get up.
Worst thing you can do is freak
I'm
out.
scared. Help me.
What?
Just, yeah. Oh, I can't.
The silver lining in all that dreadful experience was that Maya felt she needed this opportunity more now than ever. However, the next day, when she went for her appointment, she chose to lie her way through this. But this was Dr. Now she was talking to, so she called her out on it.
You lie about what you eat, and that has to stop here today if you're truly ready to get help and change. So, do you think you're capable of being honest about these things?
Absolutely.
All right then, no more lying.
Maya was given the goal to lose 100 pounds in the next 2 months for her to be able to qualify for the gastric bypass. Initially, this goal seemed too big for her, but she made up her mind. She changed her diet and went a step further and signed up for working out in the gym. At the start, she felt great, only to realize the bitter truth about her body and health. It can only go so far.
I feel really dizzy because it feels like it was too much. I think I'm gonna pass out. This is really discouraging now. And I'm scared I did something to myself because I'm having trouble breathing and my head is killing me.
Goal achieved though, and Maya was scheduled for her big surgery. But for that to happen, she and Christian had to move to Houston first. A lot of changes were happening, and her mother and grandmother were fully supporting her. However, on a moving day, Maya's mother had to go to work, before she could fully pack her stuff, and that led to her blowing up on her mom in front of the house.
We're
It's not
doing
planned.
this now.
Life is not planned.
Stop
You were
talking.
planned.
Just stop talking.
You know, this is why we have family fights. It's because of you. You won't change.
You're always saying that you have to work and it's about money.
With all the stress of moving and fighting with her mother and boyfriend, Maya could not help using that as an excuse. And Dr. Now saw through that and canceled her surgery for another month unless she loses more weight. However, instead of tackling the relationship issues at home, Maya chose the doctor's office to yell and blame him for everything that happened.
I hate you for doing this to me, Christian. Why can't you just answer the questions?
Oh, you're costing me my weight loss surgery and you're ruining everything!
Damn it, Christian, stop!
Maya's attitude towards change and getting better all changed when she could not make it on her own. So she decided to not go through with the program that could have such a positive impact on her life. She claimed she took a break from it. However, donated her time to shelters, helping and making the kids happy.
I've always wanted to have my own kids, but I can't.
right.
My spouse left me, so now I'm single.
Okay.
In a way, we're all in this together, no matter what we're facing. So serving others like this has been an incredible and wonderful experience.
The Asante brothers were going to be one unique and challenging case for Dr. Now. Both brothers were over 600 pounds, with Stephen being 730 pounds and completely bedridden. Furthermore, he was being kicked out of the hospital for violating his care plan. His only option was this opportunity now, as his psychological issues were going to be a hard enough obstacle in his weight loss journey.
Stephen suffers from severe psychological issues. So it sounds like a perfect storm of dysfunction is coming.
I want this light off. It's ridiculous what I have to do to get people to respond around here.
Before the hospital, Stephen used to live with his father, being solely dependent for everything. His father showed the bathroom where Stephen's weight ended up destroying the sink as well as the toilet. Furthermore, his bed was broken along with numerous pizza boxes that his father found hidden in the closet. And whenever his father confronted him, Stephen threatened to call the cops.
Well, you're gonna hear me now. I need $150 to fill my treatment medicine. I will relapse if I don't have that medicine here.
It appears Stephen and Justin's parents had a rocky marriage, and their separation took a heavy toll on them. The Asante brothers pretty much blame their mother for them turning to food for comfort. On top of that, their mother's boyfriends beating them further deteriorated their mental health to the point where food was the only good thing they had going on in their lives.
I just want to apologize for everything I put you through in the past.
I'm not sure if I can believe anything Steven says. He has mood swings, he has different personalities.
I just want you to do the right thing, all right? And I just want you to know that I care about you.
Moving on, the relationship between the brothers and food got to the point where Stephen was eating 6 large pizzas a day, and Justin followed closely behind. Stephen's psychological issues started surfacing more and more as he got confined to bed. He started making videos and lashing out at people online, just about doing anything to get their attention.
Stephen thinks he can come here and try to get some painkillers. Then I'm going to adjust his perspective on things. Your days of manipulating the system and getting painkillers are over. You're going to end up either dead or in jail.
Finally, Stephen was ready to turn his life around. However, it was going to be a long journey to Houston, and Stephen was not going to make it any easier either. His food addiction was already making them take multiple stops for food. On top of that, the bed he was situated in was barely holding his weight. And soon, it just took one bump to give in.
What do you want?
I am hungry.
So you're gonna wait, buddy, or we're never gonna get there.
I am feeling very
Weak. And if something happens to me, you're gonna be very sorry.
Welcome to the real Steven.
This was a long journey for the Asantes. Stephen was getting hungry again and again and felt entitled to call his father and demand food. It got to the point where his father had to get stern with him, knowing that this could lead to more problems for him.
You're full of
I am not staying here another night in pain.
Your body is rejecting food and you need to find your
No.
way. While you're going to
No.
wake up dying at home. Quit asking for drugs.
Finally, these guys reached their destination and Stephen gets admitted. However, Dr. Now soon discovered the underlying issues and family dynamics that these guys reflected. Moreover, also was admitted because of his leg pain. But as soon as the doctor wanted to do an extensive checkup, he threw a tantrum as well and wanted to leave immediately. So much so he couldn't look at the doctor while he tried talking to him, and blew up on his brother too.
I want to talk to Justin and ask him how his recovery is doing.
Just talk to him.
Not talking to him.
Justin, get it over with.
Fine. You want me to talk to him?
Hey, John, you still abusing the drugs?
I don't know what you're talking about and go yourself.
Perfect.
In the next month, Steven started showing his pathological behavior. He kept bothering the nurses and hospital staff, and even though he was given warnings and made promises to improve his behavior, things took a turn for the worse. Dr. Now had no choice but to tell him he was done staying at the hospital. He didn't take it very well.
I'm doing good and everything, please.
You will not be admitted back.
I've been good. I swear, I apologize to everybody.
If you want to stay in the program, you need to find a place to stay because you're not staying here anymore.
As soon as Steven got relocated to an apartment, he got on the last nerve of his father. But he was still pushing him. He reverted to his old eating habits, though claimed it was just a one-time thing. 1 large pizza and 2-liter Coke was a one-time thing for him. After that, he was left alone so he could learn to be on his own. But in a couple of months, he started to abuse the system for pain medications and took it a step further by pulling his hair out when he got frustrated.
Steven, you're lying about everything you're doing. So here's what we're going to do. I'm suspending you from the weight loss program, and you're going from here to a drug addiction program.
Steven's behavior and antics got to the point where Dr. Now had no choice but to shift him to the drug addiction program first rather than the weight loss one. It was clear he didn't want any help. He just wanted to get his way, by hook or by crook. His addiction to pain medications was gonna end his life sooner than his eating habits if he didn't get his act straight.
If you find anything in your system that is not supposed to be there, then this game is over for you. But even if you don't find anything, your weight gain is a big problem because we have done everything we can for you and you go into psychotherapy.
Donald was a 30-year-old man who had gotten too big for his legs. His weight got to a point where daily tasks were like climbing Mount Everest. All his life he had faced bullying and had been picked on, so he turned to food for solace, but got bigger and bigger. He was entirely dependent on his family for support, and now he wanted to change and turn his life around, live a normal life.
Just being a big person, I can't just get up and walk around like most normal people can. Too big for my legs. It hurts to do much anything anymore. Most of the time I do is sit in this house.
The surgery was a huge success, and Donald managed to lose 300 pounds. He started going out dancing again, attending his friends' weddings, buying new clothes that fit. Everything seemed to be going great until one day he fell and was hospitalized. He slipped into a coma, and after a while, his parents got to know that he had been on drugs.
He was actually going to be able to start his family and do what he needed to do to, have a girlfriend, get married, lead a normal life, so to speak.
When he was big, he wanted to meet somebody that loved him for what he was.
The next 2 years became a whole new challenge for Donald as he got bedridden again because his legs stopped working. He started physical therapy to gain control of his legs, but in doing so, he lost track of his eating habits and managed to gain back 200 pounds. His family played a role in that as well, as they enabled that. But he fell in love and seemed to be on his way to being better. However, it all went downhill and fast when she left him because he was back to his old eating shenanigans.
I could never imagine what the past year would be like. I was engaged for me to get married and get kids, but it didn't work out that way. It was pretty hard, especially, the way she left.
Donald had his next appointment with Dr. Now, and he was dreading it for good reasons. It was clear all the progress that he had made was lost. And when the doctor pointed out his behavior about it, Donald took up an attitude, and things took a crazy turn.
I mean, I can only do so much as I can do.
And you gained 200 pounds. What do you think the surgery did for you to make your life change?
I guess really nothing.
After pulling that stunt, Donald still hadn't realized the severity of the situation and stuck to his ways. His weight gain got to a point where his electric chair could not handle the brunt of it and broke. That made Donald confined to his bed, and he wasn't happy about that situation either.
Nobody wants to listen to me. I'm just a stupid. The tilt has to work.
With the weight gain and all, what happened was it was just under too much pressure and it just went psh.
Trying to get all this stuff done and can't do nothing about it.
After all that, Donald wanted his life back. He had done it before. He could do it again. It all depended upon his willpower, and he was now pretty confident about it. So much so that he got in contact with his ex again to sort out all his past troubles once and for all.
He knew I'd be back. He saved my life. I can't be too mad at him.
Here's the plan. We want to be under 300 pounds. And we're going to walk in 3 months.
Yep. I'm going to be under 300 pounds for sure.